I know I told them, hi, it's Diabetic Awareness Month, and it's late. I usually do these in the morning. On the weekend, sometimes I get sidetracked and don't get them done. So it is Sunday night. It is, what time is it, Mel? I don't know, 8-ish. Here's my girl. And we were just changing sheets in her room, and she said she's feeling maybe like she's low, may not be low. It could just be that she's tired. So I said, here, I haven't done a video. I'll take a video of you checking your blood sugar. So
I'm not in it.
Here's her little meter. Whoa, there we go. So she puts her little test strip in down here, and then it turns on. And when that blood drop flashes, that's how she knows she's able. Every blood sugar meter is a little bit different, but this is how hers works. So now she gets to prick her little finger. I can't see her finger. So she alcohol swab cleaned it. Let's see. Blood drop gets fed to the meter strip. And now it's gonna check. This is kind of scary to do live because I could be admitting a really bad blood sugar number.
One time.
Hey, but it's not bad. Here's showing what it looks like when it comes up. So she's actually 110. So her blood, that's a really good blood sugar number. So we don't really need to do anything right now, which is good. But tell them why you thought maybe you were low.
I got hot and clammy, and I'm just tired.
Yeah. So hot and clammy sometimes to her means low. And so she thought she was low, and her continuous glucose monitor said she was 124, I think. But anytime she feels off, like she feels like maybe her glucose monitor could be wrong, we always check. So that's what she did. Now, I'll videotape this too if you guys want to hang on. She's replacing her insulin pump. So this gets done every 3 days. So this is what the actual insulin pump looks like. So it has a sticker on the back. The sticker comes off. So each little kit comes with your pod, and then it comes with the needle. And the needle is used she withdrew insulin from the vial, filled it in the syringe, and now she gets to put it, there's a hole in the back of the pump. So she squirts it in, and you'll hear it beep at her. Okay, so I don't know if you could hear that. There were 2 faint little beep beeps that tells her that it has enough insulin in it. And so now on her little PDM, what's it called? Personal Diabetic Manager, I think. So it's gonna tell her it's priming. So it's getting this pump ready for her to put onto her body.
Oh, that is bloody.
Oh, hey, there you go.
It's gonna be all in my shirt.
There you go. Here's the reality of what happens sometimes.
That is like bleeding crazy.
Yeah, so when she ripped it off, it was probably into some kind of yeah, it's dripping blood right now, so this is not normal. This happens sometimes, not horribly common, and it freaks her out a little bit when it happens, but this is the reality. This is what we face. This is, yeah, it's like bleeding. So this prolongs the putting on the pump process because now she has to tend to a bleeding arm. So, that's why I tell you it's emotionally exhausting, this whole process, because a pump change should be fairly simple at her age, and normally they are. But then sometimes you get into these situations where things like this happen and you're tired anyway. It's the end of the night on Sunday. She has practice tomorrow morning. She has to be up at 5 o'clock tomorrow to be at practice on the deck by 5:20. And so it's frustrating when these things happen because it delays what she needs to be doing. So I'll tell you what, you're not going to get to see her put her pump on because she's running upstairs to get a Band-Aid because she's bleeding. But I will tell you really quickly. So this tells her now, I don't know if you guys can see what it says, but anyway, it just says that it's ready. So what she'll do next is she will rip off this little tab right here. And when she rips that off, I don't want to be gross and show you blood, but I don't know if you can see this cannula right here. That's that little blue piece is actually what goes into her body and stays into her body. And so that's where a needle comes in and pokes, puts that cannula in, and then that cannula will remain in her arm. And that's what actually pushes the insulin is the insulin goes through that little cannula. So she will adhere this to her little arm, and that's it. And then her pump is ready to go, and this will last, again, another 3 days. So the insulin is in here, and it pushes out every 5 minutes. It gives her a push of insulin, and then anytime we tell it to give her more for food or something like that, that's when we program it into her pod, and it'll give her extra insulin. So there you go. And okay, so this is a reality. I was going to show you a pump change, and plans get changed because things like this happen, and it's just the reality of what she faces. So she handles it with grace. You kind of saw she hopped up pretty quick, didn't get too cuckoo crazy. It scares her. Any kind of massive amount of blood is a little bit scary, but she handled it with grace, and here she is actually. You can take, you have a sports bra on, nobody cares.
Yeah, that's blood.
Okay, we'll clean it. Yeah, we got blood on the sheets, so we'll have to clean that, which we just washed sheets today. So, okay, so really quick, she'll show you how this is done. Now that she's back. This is a long video.
Can I go put it on in the mirror?
Yeah. Okay, she's gonna go put it on in the mirror. So what she'll do is, I'll show you. She's over there. She's a swimmer, so she's totally comfortable in a swimsuit or a sports bra, so this isn't freaking her out because she spends most of her life in a swimsuit. So now what she'll do is she will tell the pump that it is on her arm.
Start.
She hits start, and you'll hear it.
There's 5 beeps.
Maybe. Okay. So that big loud click that you heard was actually the cannula going into her arm. And so now it is in her arm, and it's ready to go, and her pod will start giving her insulin pushes when it's supposed to. So thanks for showing the world.
I was going to take my shirt off. That's why it's because there's blood in my arm.
Oh, that's okay. All right, anything else you want them to know? How fun are pump changes?
Usually fine.
They're usually fine.
I cleaned up blood off my bathroom floor because it dripped so bad. It was like
yeah. Pump changes usually, I mean, they're not fun, but they're not usually a big ordeal. This was a little bit more of an ordeal, but you know, hey, that's what happens when you do a live video, and it's what happens when you show a glimpse into the reality of what she faces. So anyway, she is getting ready for bed because she has to be up early tomorrow, and this is just another step in her nighttime routine. So that's why we share, that's why we advocate, because I want, she's finding blood drops every place. But that's why we share, that's why we advocate, is because things like that add to her day and add to her frustration are the quiet things that nobody sees behind closed doors. So we try to give you a glimpse into that so that you can help us fight and advocate. So please fight with us until type 1 is type none, and I will see you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye from the girl.